Welcome to TrueHouse 475 with me, Justin House, on the 18th, 19th, 18th of April then. Okay, welcome aboard. It's live, I think. Okay, good evening to Instagram, good evening to YouTube. Hello, how the hell are you all? It's 4 and 5 of the TrueHouse. Trust you all had a decent weekend. Hope you're okay. Hello, brother. How are you doing? How you doing? Good evening, Captain. Captain, how are you, mate? Yeah, interesting. How's your weekend been? All I'm going to do tonight is just literally, I'm not going to do any despair, doom scrolling tonight, but it's like I just call this one lies, lies, lies tonight. I haven't really got a lesson plan tonight. Are you okay, mate? Nice to see you. To see you nice. How's your weekend been, brother? Been all right? Let me turn this light down a little bit. Let's reduce that a little bit. A bit too bright, wasn't it? You all right, matey? Hope you're okay. Hope you're okay. What's the weather been like up there? It's been really sunny down here. Decent. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's been really like properly nice today. Brother treated me to a Nandos. I've not had a Nandos for years, man, and I was astonished. It's nice up there too. Okay, good, good. Yeah, it's like a proper summer's day, right? Like really, like proper blue skies and shit. Yeah, really decent. Good. I'm glad it's been nice up there as well, mate. Yes, dude, it's been weird, like spending time with brother, because we're so different. I mean, I love him to bits. Don't get me wrong, but we're just so different. Yeah, it's been kind of funny. Had a funny moment though in Nando's. Two things caught me by surprise. The first one was the price. I've not had a Nando's for years, dude. And I was like, 38 quid, you know what I mean? Just literally for, I mean, you could say 38 quid is cheap to buy, out in public to buy two meals for two people. Looking at it that way, it is cheap. But when you think about it, it was like we had two Diet Cokes, a portion of chips each, and a chicken breast pita bread. That's the meal. Oh, sorry, tell a lie, coleslaw as well. So, you know, again, I'm out of touch. I've not been out for a couple of years, have I? But I said to brother, I said, Jesus, what's next one's my shout on payday. Well, next week when the 28th comes around. But I was just astonished at the fact that, like, I suppose you could say, okay, for two people in public, less than 40 quid, it's pretty good. But then you look at what you got, and it's like, okay, portion of chips, Diet Coke, like that much coleslaw, and essentially a chicken breast in a bit of pita bread. And you're thinking, and that's 38 quid. That's when you think, okay, that's 20 quid. So that was kind of astonishing. But the waitress, the girl that served us, Hugh, dude. Yeah, exactly. Kebab shop next time. Yeah, do you know what? You'd actually get more bang for your buck. You get more yeah, just for the sheer pita bread with meat in it. Yeah, I'd rather do 5-10 quid on a kebab. Thank you very much. You're paying for Nando's, aren't you? You're paying for the name. You're paying for the establishment. Um, and think how many chicken breasts I've eaten in my life. When I was bodybuilding, obviously I was eating like 6 a day. Um, but it was actually tough as old boots. It wasn't even like a decent, juicy, soft chicken breast. It was actually like, but it was brother's treat, and I appreciated it, and I was grateful. But I just went away thinking, damn, that was an expensive, quick lunch. So yes, there's the restaurant that I'd like to take you. If you and your fam, or whether you're on your own or your fam, if you ever come down, mate, where I'm taking you, which is right on the seafront. Literally, you've got Boscombe Pier and Bournemouth Pier, and it's right there on Boscombe Pier, and it's my favourite restaurant, and it's not daft money. I mean, like, you know, 50 quid and you're absolutely bursting. We're talking New Forest grown, so literally it's all reared meat here in, you know, where I live here in the sticks in the New Forest, and that gets sent down the road to where the beach is. So it's literally travelling 15 miles down the road. So it's really local produce, ribeye steak, ribs, you know, like proper pork ribs. You know, we are talking like a real rack of ribs here, and thick ribeye steak. That's the only steak I like these days. You know, full fat. No, I don't want a lean steak. I want a proper marbly fat steak. You know, and that restaurant is right there on the seafront by Boscombe Pier, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Just simple grub, you know, nothing like fancy. It's like, you know, real proper meat and potato stuff, you know. But oh, mate, the burgers, you know, the steaks. They do a kebab, the chicken, just locally grown, local New Forest meat, you know, and that's what you're getting. And their claim to fame, or whatever you want to call it, you know, their promise is it's literally born and bred here in Dorset in a New Forest. Its life is open, whatever you call it, grazing. You know, it's not all cooped up. It's slaughtered and it's sent down the road to Bournemouth, and they promise that. So you know, dude, when if you come down, I'm taking you there because you'd love it. You'd love it, and it's a, you know, I could confidently take you there, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that was decent. You know, there's no you know, when you go to some restaurants and it's like, yeah, you know, it's a wing it. You know, it's like, that was a bad one, sorry. But this place is really decent. What else has been happening? Do you know, I've gotten to the point now where I've I've stopped scrolling. Dude, I've literally like, you know, I'll take the old Ultra here. Oh, by the way, look at this. I've got one of these lovely screens, you know, with the exploding. Do you know what I mean? Where the screen does all that. Yeah, with all this sort. There you go. See that? Isn't it great? Isn't that cool? So YouTube as well. There you go. So YouTube can see that screen. Just like that's the one thing, you know, they do with the colour. Anyway, I've stopped scrolling, mate, because you look at the news and it's like, oh, fear, 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 fear porn, fear porn, fear porn, lies, 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 fear, 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 lies, lies, lies. And I was seeing a thing today, Harry Potter, like Dumbledore, the new, this is quite funny actually, woke culture. Apparently for the Chinese market, the new like Crimes of Grindelwald or whatever, I quite enjoyed those actually, but they've made the relationship between Dumbledore, like young Dumbledore, not that I'm a die-hard Harry Potter fan or whatever, but J.K. Rowling has now written in that he's gay. So you've got, again, to keep the woke people happy, you know, I'm like, whatever happened to simply wizards and witches and witchcraft and mysticism and Hogwarts, and that was it, right? That was it. That's all Harry Potter was. Why have we got to have? Oh yeah, let's make Dumbledore gay. Let's make Grindelwald. And I was listening to this traveling back from the gym this afternoon, just like, you know, playing YouTube, and I thought, oh, you know, it gets into everything, doesn't it? But the Chinese market, the Chinese, they don't like the gay thing. So I thought that was quite funny. Apparently, whoever's got it, Fox or 20th Century Fox or Warner Brothers, whatever film company has got it, has for the Chinese market, they've taken the gay away, which I find that hysterical because certainly America and to an extent us here in the UK, but certainly America, you know, you've got to have like a black person, a disabled person, a fat person, a trans person, you know, like a trans man, a trans woman, whatever, you know, native Indian, you know, you've got, again, all these ticks, haven't you? You've got to have all these political boxes ticked. You know, whatever happened to just a good story, please? Just give us a good screenplay, a good script, a good story with actual stakes, you know. And so I despair. Whatever happened to someone saying to you, oh, I saw a really good film the other day, or I saw a really good program or a series. Like this is why Ozark is so good. You know, uh, you know, this report on YouTube was saying now with a franchise, you know, DC or Marvel or Star Wars or Harry Potter, the agenda is, oh, we've got to have a, you know, you know, a black woman in this position and a native Indian here and a Chinese person there and a trans person here and a gay person there. Not, oh, by the way, that's the story, that's the plot. Do you know what I mean? Just that's what's so sad. That's what's so, and I don't know, man. I just like purposely. I've stopped looking at the news recently because it's going to be Ukraine and you know just it's the end of the world, Putin, all that. You know, I've just literally jacked all that. I've jacked it. I've just stopped looking at the news. Um, Same with COVID. Same with the COVID thing. Again, there was people from the FDA actually quitting their jobs over the fourth booster, and I was like, right, I'm out. I'm tapping out. I'm not interested in that. Um, just all of it is so negative and designed to make you frightened. I think the one thing I'm seeing now in like the news is keep people frightened, keep people shitting themselves. Make sure your captive Western audience, whether it's UK or US, is at all times shitting themselves. That's literally, I mean, it's just a working theory I've got. I don't know this, I can't prove this, but I'm probably right because I think if you had access to CCTV or you were a fly on the wall at some corporate, you know, mainstream smeardia, I don't call them mainstream media, mainstream smeardia, they probably have these big executive high-powered meetings and they're like, okay, these are the viewing figures, you know, whatever millions they are, make sure we've got these things covered. But let's keep the people, let's keep the Gen Pop public shitting themselves. You know, let's keep that plate spinning, keepy uppy thing going. Again, whether it's war in Ukraine, the Putin Russia bad narrative, saving Biden's ass, softballing Boris. It's all of it. I've just for my own mental welfare, I've personally jacked the. I won't look at Goog News or Sky News. You know, of course, I'm roughly aware of what's going on, roughly aware, but I've stopped giving it any effort, any credence. I've stopped taking it. You know, I took it with a pinch of salt anyway, but now I literally. I think the healthiest attitude, again, this is not, I'm not giving advice. I can't give advice. I'm only simply admitting what I'm doing. And what I'm doing for my own sanity, as a bloke who was looking into it a bit too much, is I now look at it with a bigger pinch of salt and just think, okay, I trust none of you. And that's why I called this episode Lies, Lies and Lies. Because the Office of National Statistics, the ONS for the UK, you know, for the NHS figures, and some of the CDC, WHO stuff in America, again, COVID related, I'm tapping out because they're contradicting themselves. It's lie on top of lie, stacked on top of lie, on top of, you know, backpedaling and backpedaling. You just think, right, it's enough. I literally talk about, I'd rather talk, I've spent too long now talking about this. I've already spent too long mentioning it, so let's not. What else is going on? Let's have a scroll. Now, I'll tell you what I do like is Megyn Kelly. I'll tell you why. She's great to look at and she's a legitimate news reader, caster, host, whatever. You know, Megyn Kelly, there she is. She's gorgeous. Look. I'll just show YouTube there. You can see, That's probably just bouncing back on the reflection, isn't it? There you go, Megan Kelly, right there, right there. Let me see if I can. No, it's not actually showing when you're just bouncing off the light I've got, sadly. But Megan Kelly here, right? Beautiful, beautiful woman. I fancy the hell out of her. I think she's gorgeous. But she used to work for Fox, and so she's got many, many years experience. But look, I mean, I'm just on YouTube now scrolling. I'll tell you who's doing really, really well. I mean, fair play. I do mention him quite a bit. Is our boy Russell Brand. Um, I've always had a bit of a love for Russell, and I've got even more for him now. Yeah, 5 minutes ago, the Great Reset. He's doing it again. So, top tip from House tonight is literally just going to say Russell Brand. He's on it. He's on it. Talking truth, telling the truth. Good for him. Obviously, our UK press, the American and the English press, the one thing they do when anyone with a name, with an audience, tells the truth, you are instantly plastered a conspiracy theorist and a crackpot tinfoil hat lunatic, and you're labelled far right. You are literally called every name under the sun if you dare to utter factually, provable data, empirical data, truth, whatever, so that's it. If you say anything basically publicly that isn't in accordance with the law of the left, the Workology, the woke nonsense. Again, these days, these live streams, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't have any desire to go on. I go on enough. Tonight's one, there's no lesson plan whatsoever. I'm going to stick to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just literally as an exercise in self-discipline. My mate, my childhood hero. Well, no, that's not true. He wasn't my childhood hero, but a very influential character when I was beginning bodybuilding, when I was 21 in 92, an Englishman by the name Dorian Yates, who went on to win the coveted Mr. Olympia title 6 times, inclusively from 1992 to 1997, when he subsequently retired. Dorian is a mate, and he turns 60 tomorrow, as does my friend Dougie, lovely Dougie, who runs Metroflex Gym SE26, South East London, Sydenham, where I was for 8-9 years. And they've got their birthday on the same day. Dougie, I think, is about, well, he's several years younger than me. I think Doug's 46, 47. And Dorian's turning 60, but looks about 50. So, fair play. Sadly, I think I mentioned this recently, but we lost another well-known bodybuilder called Cedric McMillan last week at the young age of 44. Very sadly, there's far too much death in the last 2 years in bodybuilding, in the community, in physical culture. Again, sadly, the public's immediate knee-jerk perception, presumption is, oh, is it the steroids, mate? And it's like, well, actually, it's they've all been vaccinated, and they've all had, heart/pneumonia problems. Sadly, statistically, I can only state what is statistically true. I can't say causation, correlation, that bit. I don't have the proof, but I can say that the bodybuilders that have died of heart stoppage, failure, myocardial infarction, of which I've had twice, heart attacks, and that they've all had the vaccine. I've not had the vaccine, not because I'm an anti-vaxxer, because I was advised in no uncertain terms to not have the vaccine, so I haven't. and I'm frankly quite glad I didn't have the vaccine. I wasn't averse to it, I simply did what I was told. There you go, moving on. But again, the overview, the overarching view being it is sad that it's happening to men who haven't even hit their late 40s, let alone 50. What else? Oh, I didn't say about the girl in Nandos. The girl that's serving us in Nandos was exceedingly attractive. And I sat there in the booth with my beloved brother, kicking myself that I wasn't 20 years younger. That of course at 50 looking like this, I'm not going to be able to charm a girl who was clearly about 25, 28, 30, whatever she was, and had this lovely hamstring glute, whipping, what I call the whipping factor, the question mark where you've got a lovely leg bicep, meeting the glute muscle, and it's just like a human question mark. She had a fantastic bum, basically a very nice figure, very attractive girl. Obviously her job is to have banter and smiles with us, the scum public who she's serving, the customers, but yes, I do despair at the fact that, back in the day I would have fancied my chances there, and now I'm like, oh yes, just here to order some chicken please, and I can't make eye contact because I've just shat myself. Diet Coke then. So that was my experience in Nando's. I'm going to endeavour to give more life anecdotes. I'm not saying I'm a funny guy, I'm not saying my life is especially interesting, but I'm probably more adept at telling, and the feedback I've had from these wretched live streams from people that have bothered to watch is that they do enjoy it when I tell them stories about shit I've done, experienced, and I then convey on here in my typical Justin verbose. Why use 10 words when 100 will suffice? And on that note, I'm going to say goodnight at 22 minutes in. Epitaph, just a quick check. You know me, I'll say a word, I'll think of a word. I'm sure it means what I think it means. Epitaph. A commemorative inscription on a tomb or mortuary monument about the person buried at the site. Yes, in other words, what's written on your gravestone. Oh, there's DK right there, right there. Let me wait for that man. Dougie, I love you too, brother. I love you, fucking love you. I left you a ridiculous message. I've actually left. I left Dorian, but dude, it's the least I could do. You know me, Doug. I thought, how can I convey to DK? And I was worried, mate. I was worried, Doug, that, as I said repeatedly in typical Justin fashion, I hope I'm not being, because I was using the Android, this one here. I'm using the Apple there, and I thought, oh no, is the music playing? So I was worried that you had like the stereo playing and you were just going to hear like music, because I just finished at the gym, because I go to the gym like a good boy, and I've left you a slightly, I was going to say, I've just seen it appear here, so I'm going to read, but I thought actually Doug won't mind, because if I just went, hi Doug, it's Justin, lots of love, happy birthday, bye, you would have gone, well, that's not Justin House, that's not how he operates, he doesn't ever do a 2-minute message, he's incapable of doing that. And Doug, I just, Pierce loving the blue cap, and thank you. Do you know, this, I've learned the art of Amazon. Everything I wear on and off camera, and I cannot lie, I cannot fib. On or off camera, I've got that truth disease. Everything I wear is off Amazon, and it's all been acquired in the last 2 years. Including the Metroflex t-shirts. Obviously, where I've lost weight. Everything that was 4X, 5X, 7X, Castlemaine 4X, it's all had to go. So I just wear, 2 or 3X now. This is actually just a simple ribbed, because the lady likes ribbed, what I'm gonna do is segue into the subject of ladies, because I have met a lady who I do like, although it's going to be in the friend zone. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I feel well. I feel well. Um, Still unvaccinated. At the point with the vaccine now where, again, I was literally like, do I? Do I? And my doctors were like, no, you're fine. You haven't, you even two of my doctors said to me, Dougie, that they suspect I may have even mildly had it, which would be favourite. That would be great if I've had it, because I've had, quite a few colds where I felt pretty rotten, but I haven't gone down, So this would be really good news for my immune system if I've actually, because I've been around several people that have had it. So anyway, but whatever. It's the whole COVID thing's just mental now. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Russell Brand, and his take is brilliant because he's exposed all the lies. Um, but yeah, I left you a message. I left Lauren a message. I can't do a short message. I'm going to enjoy reading, listening to yours. Um, there's a girl at the gym who I've recently befriended, right? And look, I mean, nothing's going to happen because I suspect she's got you know when you don't want to ask, when you make a new, oh, that's terrible, the camera color on YouTube there on the iPad. Anyway, it's okay here on this one. When you meet someone in that environment and you think, I don't want to pry, like she'll text me and I leave her a just in voicemail, right? She's 5 foot. She's exactly 5 foot, which is hilarious, Dougie, because I'm 6'5". She's 5 foot, so it's like a fantastic 17-inch gap in the height, isn't it? Yeah, 12 plus. Yeah, yeah. Because I'm a height supremacist. Height power, height power. So I'm a height supremacist. She's exactly 5 foot. What do you know? What would you'd like, Doug? Is that she's going to compete. She's going to compete. She's got a fantastic physique. And that's how we got talking. I mean, like, her legs, her glutes, her legs, like you, with all your knowledge and experience, you would look at this girl's physique as, like from a teaching, coaching, prepping, like Doug Kelly professional hat on, and you'd look at me and go, flipping heck house, that's got some, she's got a hell of a physique. She's only 5 years into her training. She's 34, 35, so she's not a kid. So she's got that maturity. And at 5 foot tall, Doug, the physique she's got, the hamstring, well, just the wheels, mate, the wheels, the glutes, whooping, whooping, I mean, you've got the glutes and the hams that are absolutely, this girl squats, she lunges, she deadlifts, the hip, they all love their hip thrusters, don't they? What's the obsession with hip thrusters? So I'm going to teach her front squats, I'm going to teach her walking car park lunges. These are things she's not doing. Her leg extension, her toes like this, not like that, things like that she needs to learn, like a real Romanian deadlift. Because they've all learned from YouTube, with respect. They've all got online coaches and they're all from YouTube. And I'm like, look, I retired, and I said to this girl, I said, look, I retired from teaching in 2017. I've been retired 5 years, which means my last teaching was at Metro. And I left Metro, late 2016, early 2017. I've been down here 4 years, 5 years, 4 years. I've been down here 5 years, 5 years been down here. Yeah, 2017, 18, 19, yeah, I've been down here 5 years. So anyway, my point is I stopped personal training, 5 years ago. But I said to this girl, I said, you've got enough potential that's made me excited. Like the geek in me, where I want to train her, I want to teach her because I've watched her work ethic, Dougie. I've looked at her physique. I mean, she's lovely, she's cute, she's an attractive thing. The wellness division is rapidly growing and she would be the right height and frame. It's all about the glute. Exactly. Like, Dougie, what I'm going to do is I'll probably send you some pictures of her actually. Her name's Becky. Nice girl, nice girl. again, I don't want to know too much about her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she sends me a text, I give her one of my Justin voicemails. Um, Bless her heart, she Googled me, so I felt, oh God, I've said it. Anyway, but she sussed out who I am, and because what I don't have these days is any. You wouldn't think by looking at me that I was a bodybuilder or I was a PT. I don't have that outward appearance anymore. Um, and she needs some help because she's built the physique she's got, and I'm telling you, brother, you would be impressed. Like, I know the girls you've got ready. I know the girls you've had under your tutelage, and I guarantee, I'm not just saying this, mate, I guarantee you'd look at her and go, yes, yes, she's got that potential. Because at 5 foot tall, and she's exactly 5 foot, she's exactly 5 foot, little Lilliputian, mate, little hobbit. But she's got a tiny waist. She's got delts. She's got the X. You need the X, and she's done it on her own. Hey, the best Jedi is a Jedi Master. Yeah. Thing is, mate, like I say, it's weird now because I've got, what, 27 years teaching experience. I'm now 50. And generally speaking, I mean, I know you're still in the gym, you're still teaching, you're still doing it as a daily operation, aren't you? It's still your profession, it's your career. But my days of doing it, I feel, are behind me. However, this girl is so good, and she's got the goods. I mean, she's got the genetics. I mean, that's the bottom line, Doug. She's got the genetics. Her work ethic is good. When she trains, she doesn't make eye contact. She's got her headphones on. She's got the hood up, and she looks at the floor, mate. And I've never seen her chatting. I've never seen her, swanning around, doing all this on the phone. I've never caught the girl giving it all this. Do you know what I mean? Never seen her do it. I've never seen her. A lot of girls just parade, and they're too busy like giving it all the. Yeah, but you don't lose the knowledge ever. This is it. This is it. Like, I basically, she was finishing. Let me give you an example, Dougie. She was doing legs the other day because I've noticed she trains. She'll do her legs. She'll pay attention to her rear delts. you know, I watched her do Smith reverse kickback lunge. I saw her, and again, all these girls love a hip thrust, right? They do the whole barbell thing. But her form is excellent. Her form is excellent. Her training intensity is she's under intense, and she's, like, I don't see her drop setting. I don't see her supersetting. I don't see her doing walking lunges. I don't see her doing, I don't know, whatever. She hasn't learned to front squat. And you know how I feel about front squats. Everyone must front squat. Well, you don't have to, but they work. She didn't know about foot placement. She didn't know about, what you can do. Just the tricks we know, right? The tricks we know. And within minutes, mate, I literally gate crashed her leg workout and just said, right, Beck, I didn't even warn her. I just said, and I started to literally fall back into Justin House PT. And everything that came out of my pie hole, mate, I just, like, it. And I left the gym feeling good because I thought, okay, mate, you've been out of it for 5 years. You haven't given a single lesson for 5 years. Literally, I mean, when I stopped teaching, it was at Metro, and I've not been in the environment. But within a second of giving her one set of leg extensions, every right, it all came out, Dougie. And I thought, oh my God, I'm teaching as I would have done at my peak. And I was giving her knowledge, and stuff that she didn't know. Well, exactly. This is it. This is it. She's got limited knowledge. She's got limited knowledge. Yet the physique she's got is already good enough. Like, you could take her now, like you could take her right now and just work on her grub only and get her ready. she's got that much tissue. I'm telling you, mate. You know, it's like things that don't leave you is the knowledge, is the eye. Like, you know, watching her proportion, her muscle belly from origin to insertion. Like I'm looking at her dimensions, you know, the way she's balanced, her actual silhouette, her shape. Again, at 5 foot tall, she's carrying the necessary tissue, and at 34 years of age, she's not a kid. She's got real maturity, um, and the actual tissue she's got on her frame, very impressive. And I mean from calf to trap. I mean all of it is there. She'd actually make a good bodybuilder, but of course that's probably not the right way. I would just like to see what she's like dieted down, because she's got the right shape, she's got the right genes. Um, I mean, I'd go so far as to say, not just because I like her, I mean, I like her as a person, but I think she's so good. It's got me interested. Do you know what I mean? It's got me bothered. I am bothered. I actually off. I mean, she's got a coach. I don't know who her coach is, and I don't care. And I said to her, look, you've got an online coach. I don't want to know who they are. I said, don't come to me with questions about, oh well, my coach says that, you know, we know this drama, Doug. You know, we know this. You know, you've been there with the, you know, but my coach says this, and the macros are here, and what about this exercise? I said, no, I don't do that. You do what your coach says, and if you want me to train you in the gym and show you in the real world what a front squat is and how we're going to lunge this way and deadlift this way and do, like, she didn't know about her side delts, Doug. You know, I'm like with side delts, right? Things like that she didn't. So I've got plenty to give her, and just tweaking the girl, I think she'd be devastating on stage. I really do. I think she's that good. She's that good. She's a bit of a hidden gem, mate. A bit of a hidden gem. Um, like I'd like you to look at her. I mean, like I wouldn't be embarrassing myself if I said, if I, you know, made her get up to Metro and present herself, because I know you'd look at her, and the one question you wouldn't have is, oh, this girl needs more tissue and more time. She doesn't. She doesn't need more tissue or more time. She simply needs to do a diet. I mean, I propose that she needs to do a diet to see what she's left with, because it's all there. It's all there. I just want to give her more knowledge, more teaching, and see if we can just hone her in, you know. Good girl. Certainly, like I say, enough for me to put my teaching hat back on again, you know. And I just said to her, I said, look, just get me a coffee now and again. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even want to talk about money. I suppose I should have done, really, but I just said, look, I don't even want to. I don't want to make that scene about, oh, you know, you're the you know, you're the Jedi, and you're the. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that, Doug. I was like, I don't want to make a public statement, you know, like you're the pupil and you're the teacher, Justin, and we're going to start doing this PT thing. I didn't want to do it. I just thought, no, I would discreetly get on with it. It's anytime fitness, mate. I just thought I'm going to get on with it and just teach the girl and start honing her in. You know, she's done ever so well on her own, Doug. Ever so well. COVID. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you how good she is. Oh, hello. Me wait. Oh, how about he's from the gym. Lewis is from the gym, right? Hello, sir. I'll tell you how good she is. I would happily, without embarrassing myself or her, or you, I would bring her to Metro. You know, because I also believe in, you know, I'm like Doug, I believe in picking a date, you know, pick a federation, pick a date, pick a show, and go, and you know how it is, you know, pin it in the map. You're doing that in 20 weeks, you know, you're doing that in 6 months, there it is. and but the minute I saw her, Doug, the minute I saw her, I thought about all the girls you've had. That sounds dodgy. I mean, all the girls you've taught, you've trained, you've coached. Um, and again, it's the height. She's, like I say, she's exactly 5 foot, but she's got the aesthetic. She's got that necessary silhouette. I can see her now doing the quarter turns, like, the actual glute and the hamstring, sufficient tissue through 3D tissue. 3D tissue. Um, yeah, I mean, you put her in a pair of heels, whatever, just that hair, you can see her. I mean, yeah, she's really got the necessary. Um, she's got the necessaries, mate. She'd do well. She sticks out in the gym like a sore thumb. I've not seen anyone down here, in this part of the world. Had I know, yeah, I was like, oh no, it sounded dodgy, didn't it? But yeah, like I say, she she made me she made me want to go back to Justin teaching again. I literally couldn't help it. I just said to her, I said, oh, flipping heck, I stopped doing this 5 years ago, but you've got your physique and how you're training makes me want to help you because I could see what she was doing wrong. I could see what she was doing wrong, but I could see how hard she was trying. So her work ethic is brilliant. What she's created is brilliant. Um, I mean, there's no reason why this girl couldn't go on to do very well at a respectable level, mate. I do believe she's actually that good. So yeah, yeah. Uh, and obviously, I would professionally expect her to not not wash. Um, no, don't wash that. Leave that, and I'll wear it like a gas mask. Big breath, right on the perineum, like that nice cheesy Marmite 2p coin battery, slightly. Dude. Um, I've been helping. There he is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll be like, no, please, whatever you do, don't take a shower. Don't you dare have a shower. Leave the and she wears skin tight leggings, in like a peach color or a mint color, and you can, I mean, when she's deadlifting, it's like just like actual, what I mean, like just like the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi, but nice, um, more like an Ewok's underbelly, but welcoming with I don't know, Daisy Ridley's busy mouth with too many teeth. That lovely, that lovely Daisy Ridley mouth where there's too much lip and teeth action going on, but mate, with a little monkey's forehead, just like a little bap, like a burger bap, with a slight hint of wee, just a little hint of wee. Completely professional, completely professional. But I went to Nando's today. My brother treated me to a Nando's. I was horrified that it was 38 quid because I'm so out of touch with public and going out and doing any of that stuff. And I don't get paid till the 28th. So I was like, look, next one's mine. So my brother, like I say, we just had, like a little bit of coleslaw, chips, and a bit of chicken and a pita bread, 38 quid, please. I'm like, bargain, Nando's. But the girl who served us, mate, the girl who served us, right, not dissimilar from the girl I'm talking about, but a bit taller, but she was French. And she was wearing like spray on jeans, right? And again, like obviously brother's not quite like me, and I looked at this bird and she came around, she said, "Oh, how's your meal?" And I was just like, shit in my mouth. You know what I mean? Just like, just for like, yeah, chicken's great, love. Just, can you please just like, can I lie on the floor and you can use me as a urine as a urinary block, as, a, as an actual trough block. Let me be your human trough block from a public urinal. Let me be that. No, but bro's okay. Bro's okay. Um, he's he's moved. He and his missus have, and he's doing so well in his career. Oh my God, he's doing incredibly well with his career. So I've got loads of respect for what he's doing. With the, that. Wow. Um, I'm going to speak to him about the possibility of possibly, and I don't know, but maybe renting together, because I've been in this little flat here for 3.5 years, um, and now he's on his own, and obviously I've been on my own forever. It might make sense, DK, for us to do. Do you know what I mean? And because I mean, it's like, I mean, what I explained to him, I was telling him about, when I lived in Addiscombe, that little room I was renting, where I wanted to cut my wrist every night, but it was £900 a month for a room. Um, I was telling brother, I said, look, the thing about Dorset in Bournemouth is you'll spend 625, which is what this is, and you get a lot more bang for your buck. I mean, you can live in the New Forest, you can live in some, like where there's fields and like an old farmhouse, beautiful. So he's going to speak to his old landlord, who's got a beautiful, like if I said to you, like a proper French, uh, like a chalet, like a gîte, like a farmhouse, like a beautiful. That's what his old landlord's got. So I, if there's room for two of us and we paid £600 a month each, 1,200 quid, but £600 a month each is very cheap. But that together would get us an amazing place, an amazing place. So that might not be a bad idea. Um, and I'm starting to live normally again now. Like I say, this whole COVID thing is just like whatever. I'm not making light of it, but I'm, what I mean, I'm just, you know, um, even my doctors are like, you're, like my health these days is really good. Um, honestly, it's like, I mean, my body weight is down to, what am I, 116, 118 kilos, which is for me is really light, mate. For me to drop below 120 is really good. Yeah, I think I'm 118 kilos right now. And you bear in mind, I was what, 143, 147, 2 years ago. So my body weight's right down, which helps the diabetes, it helps the kidney. Creatinine is good. The general consensus from the quacks is if I've had COVID, then it didn't do me in that they thought it might. Um, their attitude is I shouldn't get a vaccine now because I've, what I mean. It's like it's almost too late, and they didn't want me doing it anyway, did they? Um, uh, I miss seeing you. I miss coming up to the gym, and I miss like I'm not being funny, mate. I write each day, on this iPad. I'm writing the book, and I go to the gym, and it's like I'm not going backwards, but I don't feel like I'm going forwards either. And as yeah, because I've hit 50, it is that kind of midlife thing. Um, and I've been looking at flights to Florida because for me, the obvious choice is Florida because that's where my friends are. That's where I can live for free. I've only got to pay for the flight. And I always stay in Cape Coral. And I tell you who lives in Cape Coral that you probably know is Palumbo. And I was watching Palumbo the other day because they were sadly discussing Cedric. And I got to say, I mean, I know obviously you guys are aware of it, but well, I spoke to Dorian about it as well. I'm not just dropping Dorian's name; it's his birthday tomorrow, isn't it, as well? Um, you know, he, he's very much like, oh, it's vaccine, that whole vaccine heart thing. Um, but Cedric McMillan, um, I've had pneumonia 3 times. I've had real pneumonia 3 times between 2014 and 2018. Um, before I had those 2 heart attacks, and it all 3 times with the pneumonia was awful, really, really awful. So when I saw that video of Cedric, and you could hear him breathing, and if that's chronic pneumonia, because you know, yeah, bilateral interstitial mine was so bad I couldn't walk 3 feet. I was, I was absolutely ruined. So I don't know, mate. I don't know. Whether we're talking about Cedric or Sean Roden or Boston Lloyd. I mean, ultimately, all these people, it's all heart attack, isn't it? Our beloved DT. Um, Ultimately, it's actual heart failure, isn't it, that causes the life to stop. Whatever is preceding it, whatever chronic things, like Louis Simmons. I was upset to see about Louis Simmons, the great West Side Barbell Club, and as Palumbo and Aceto and Romano were all saying, Louis was on dialysis and decided to stop dialysis. And there's one thing I know, my 4 years on dialysis when I was at Bromley, as the longest respite you get is 2 days. You get a weekend, that's the longest gap you can have. If you go to day 3, you start building up with fluid, you drown. So if you go 4 days and 5 days with no dialysis, you're going to be brown bread. In day 5, you're done. You're done. Obviously, we know Tom Prince recently went. I just think there's been a lot of it, guys. There's been a lot of it, and I don't think I'm imagining that. And texting back and forth with Yates on WhatsApp, it was like, there's been like 50 go, like 48, 50 people from our community. A lot of them have been renal, kidneys, a lot, hearts, pneumonia, and none of these people, with the exception of Louis Simmons, appear to have cracked 50. And I think, what's going on? What's going on? So I don't know. And your finger's more on the pulse than mine. You're more industry aware. I don't think, to my knowledge, that guys are doing anything more radical these days, are they? I mean, are they doing anything more crazy? I don't think so. Are they? I mean, Dougie, are they more cavalier than we were? With Paul Borison in the 90s, with chemical warfare. When more was better, that attitude. When I was destroying myself with, like more. You know, um, I don't know. I wonder what you think, what you guys think up there. But but listening to Palumbo and Aceto on RX Muscle or Muscle RX, and that's something that you put me onto. The 2 things you put me onto Rogan in 2011, which was his second year because he began December '09, and you put me on to Heavy Muscle Radio and both things have become very important. You know, they've grown. I mean, Rogan's taken over the planet. I mean, Rogan's the king. Joe Rogan is the fucking king, mate. He's done it. He's fucking done it. You know, to see Bill Maher, you know, evening chat show host kiss Rogan's ass, I was like, yes. But my point is, I don't think. Look, I know someone like John Hodgson or Dorian would say, "It's the vaccine, bro. It's the vaccine, bro," and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, you know, it's I don't know. It's weird. It just seems to be. I mean, Palumbo said this. I'm sure you saw it. I'm sure you saw it. He said, you know, they were talking about with Acito and Romano, and they said, you know, has barely a week gone by without someone dying? Is there a day this week when I finish work earlier than 7, maybe Thursday? I'd enjoy having a good catch. Yes, yes, yes. Can we? Can we? Please, Doug. Thursday. Thursday. Right. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to do that. I'm going to write that down. Thursday, earlier than 7. Thursday with Doug. Dougie. I've written that down. Yeah, I should probably go now. That's 56 minutes. Yeah, let's chat on Thursday. Of course, mate. Of course, I would lay down in a sea of fecal matter, insulin pins, used insulin pins, scorpion tails, and entrails for you, and broken glass. I'll give you a text tomorrow. Absolutely, absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. No, I would swim through a local uh, sharps bin. I would find a Lewisham sharps bin overflowing with insulin pins from the HIV community, coated with Hep B. I would swim through that. I'd take a shower in insulin pins and scorpion tails and full condoms, right, of blood and jizz to speak to you. There you go. There you go. See, it doesn't go, Doug. It doesn't go. It doesn't go. Give me a shout tomorrow. Have a happy birthday. Have a happy, happy, happy day. Whatever you're doing with whoever, whatever, wherever, have a blessed. Are you 46 or 47 or 40? I don't know, whatever, but it doesn't matter. We're 21. We're 21. Okay, I'm going to go. Big, big love to you. And to Lewis as well for coming. That's nice to see you. And let's talk tomorrow on your birthday, okay? And we'll have a chat for Thursday. Thank you. Big love to you. Talk soon. Cheers. And good night to you on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed that.